Welcome. In this Ignitia tutorial, we will take a look at the Flex Assessments option and the value it can provide while working with your students in Ignitia. We know the needs of your schools and your students are ever-changing. One of the greatest features about our program is how you can customize it to fit the needs of your individual students. Well, Flex Assessment takes that to a whole new level. Flex Assessments adds three fantastic functions to the program. The first is that you now have the capability to skip individual questions on a lesson, quiz, or test. The second is that when you skip lessons within a course, the questions related to that skipped content are removed from the subsequent quizzes and unit test. And the third is when you create a custom course, the quizzes and tests will only pull questions from the lessons that you elect to include in that course. To turn on this highly requested feature as a global setting, click on the School Settings tab in the Admin mode. If you do not see the School Settings tab, you will need to contact an administrator from your site in order to complete this portion for you. Choose the Grading, Pacing, and Assessments tab and be sure the box next to Flex Skipped is checked. If you've already enrolled a student, you can also adjust this setting in an individual student's profile. To do this, you will need to navigate to the Course Enrollment tab, locate the student that you wish to change by searching for that student, and then choose Edit in order to gain access to their enrollment settings. If you do not see the Edit link shown, you will need to contact an administrator at your site in order to complete this portion for you. In this window, locate the Flex choices and choose Skipped. This process will need to be completed for each course per student that you wish to change. Now let's take a closer look at each of these features. To skip individual questions on lessons, quizzes, and tests, you will start on the Gradebook tab and run a search for your student. Now expand the course to the unit view by clicking the plus sign next to the course name. Click the plus sign next to the unit title to view all of the assignments within the unit. Open any assignment, a lesson, quiz, or test, to skip individual questions by clicking on the title of that assignment. You're taken directly to the questions. Simply click the Skip button on the questions that you would like to skip. The question number will reduce in the background and turn a gray color. If you change your mind, or if you find that a question is incorrectly marked skipped, then click the Don't Skip button, which will reverse this action. To return a question to the system's default status, simply click the Default button. Here's what the student will see. In their lesson, under the Questions tab in the navigation bar, the skipped questions have a gray arrow over the question number. The student will still be able to view the skipped questions and the answer choices, but they will not be required or be able to answer the questions. The skipped questions' possible points will be removed from the grading when the lesson's average is calculated. Now let's take a look at how, when lessons are skipped, questions related to the content covered in those lessons are removed from the subsequent quizzes and tests. From the Gradebook tab, run a search for the student. Expand the unit view of the English 1 course and then open Unit 1. If we choose to skip a lesson or lessons from the unit, any questions related to the content will automatically be removed from the unit's quizzes and tests. If we elect to skip Lesson 5, for example, the questions from Lesson 5 will automatically be skipped in any of the quizzes or tests that follow. Let's take a look. We can see that a handful of questions have been grayed out and their individual status is marked as skipped. Now when the student takes the first quiz in the unit, they will not be responsible for answering these questions. The questions that relate to this lesson have also been automatically skipped on the unit test as well. Again, their individual status is marked as skipped, and the student will not be expected to answer these questions when they complete the test. Let's take a look again at what the student will see. The questions on the quiz that relate to the skipped lesson have been grayed out and there is now an arrow pointing to the right that indicates to the student that they can move on to the next question. Again, the student will still be able to view the questions and the answer choices for the skipped lesson, but they will not be required to answer the questions, and those questions will be removed from the grading when the quiz average is calculated. Let's take Flex assessments one step further and see how quizzes and tests in custom courses are automatically created to reflect the lessons that you've included in a unit. In the Courses tab, click on the All Standard button in order to view the standard courses in Ignitia. Then, click on the course title heading in order to sort the courses in alphabetical order by name. You'll notice a Flex icon has been added to the information column. When Flex is listed, it means the course is compatible with Flex assessments. In other words, quizzes and tests will automatically adjust to the content in the unit. If you do not see the icon, the course will not be compatible with Flex assessments, simply meaning that the course will function as it always has in the program. For our demonstration, we'll see how Flex Assessments works in custom courses by creating a copy of a pre-existing English 1 course, but keep in mind that Flex Assessments will work in the same manner when creating a course from scratch. Start by clicking the copy icon next to English 1. Next, you'll need to rename the course, since every course needs to have a unique name in Ignitia. You'll have to decide whether you'd like other teachers to have the ability to edit this course. No is activated as the default, but you can change this to yes by simply clicking that button. Last, enable Flex by clicking yes. Keep in mind this will be your only opportunity to activate the Flex feature. Finally, click Copy. As you can see, we are now on the Custom Course screen where we can edit and open any unit and make any adjustments that we wish to the course. If you'd like more information on how to create and edit a course, please view the course customization tutorial. Let's start by previewing the first quiz in the first unit. To do this, you'll need to click the arrow next to the Structure of Language unit title in order to expand out this unit for view. Once you've located the Nouns and Adjectives quiz, open it and scroll to the bottom, and you'll notice that there are currently 25 questions contained within the quiz. If we decide to relocate the quiz somewhere else in the unit, the questions will automatically readjust on that quiz. For example, if I move the quiz to before the Adjectives lesson, the questions from Quiz 1 relating to the 2 lessons that used to be included within this quiz will automatically be removed from Quiz 1 and be relocated to the next corresponding quiz in the unit. When we preview the first quiz again, you'll notice that we now only have 21 questions that relate to the quiz. This is because there were 4 questions that were associated with the 2 lessons that are no longer included in the content relating to Quiz 1. If you were to remove a lesson completely from the unit, Flex Assessments would automatically adjust not only the quizzes and tests for this particular unit, but also any semester or final exams for the course. It would automatically eliminate the questions that were associated with the removed content. With Flexed Assessments, you also have the capability to insert additional quizzes into a unit that will automatically pull questions from the associated lessons. To start this, first decide where you would like to include that quiz. Next, click on the plus sign where you want the quiz to be placed. When the assignment bar displays, choose the Plus Assessment button. Give your quiz a name and click Create. The program will automatically pull the questions from the lessons above it, making it very easy for you to quiz your students on smaller chunks of content. To continue learning about creating your own courses, please view the course customization tutorial. If you have further questions or would like more information, please contact technical support at 800-735-4193 and select option 1. Thank you for viewing this Ignitia tutorial.